Aunjanue, I'd actually want to start with you because some of my favorite scenes were those flashbacks of the love story between Isabel and Brett. How do they reflect the importance of keeping a loved one that you've lost alive by telling the stories of who they were when they were living?
Mhm. Right?
Good one.
Um, I believe that the book cast, because she lost so many people who were important to her in such a small amount of time. Three people: her cousin, who was her best friend; her mother, who was, I would argue, one of her great loves of her life; and then Brett, her partner, who was also a great love of her life. And then that essentially propelling her to write this book. I felt that for me, as I was acting a love letter. I think she wrote a love letter, but I was acting a love letter. And I think what I mean by love letter, it's the memorialization of these people, and that is rooted in profound grief. And I think that profound grief, that loss, that picture that she saw where that man was choosing not to heal, um, and all of these moments that I feel that happened in the scene where the men are cleaning themselves in India. All the connective tissue to all of this is love, is love. So that was a driving force for me. And I think in writing the book, it was, like I said, it was a love letter. It was a love letter to Brett. There's a picture that was in my dressing room that I would look at every day, and it was a picture of Brett and Isabel, and they were somewhere. I don't know where they were, but you can tell they were having a good time. You know that picture?
Yeah.
They were having because there are not a lot of photos. There were not a lot of photos, but then you tell they were having a good time and they were in love, and that gave me my smile every day. Because you would think that, oh, people think that this is a very hard thing to play, and yeah, there were harder things to play, but I was driven by love and joy that she had with this man that she just cherished so much.
Yeah, and what beautiful love stories to tell. It's so beautifully done. And just lastly for you, Ava, there's a line in Origin that reads, "Our most vulnerable time is when we have lost someone that we love." In what ways do you hope this film will empower people to open up about those honest feelings that come around grief?
Yeah, I think that grief is an entry point into this larger story about history and legacy. Is a beautiful, soft way to go into the film, because it's something that unfortunately we've all experienced or we will all experience. That is a part of life. You lose that which you love, and that is what really is a common point between all human beings, and even in the film, there are moments where people who've lost others congregate around that idea of loss. And so the idea that grief can be a through line, that grief can be a bridge between us, is an idea that was just always very provocative to me, and that we were able to explore through all of these love stories in the movie. And I hope that people come out of the film feeling, connected, curious, and in community with people far beyond those who look exactly like them. And that's one of the big goals of the film.
To kick things off, origin, the definition of origin is the point or place where something begins. How would you say the characteristics of who we are as people are often showcased through having cousins like your character, Marion?
Oh, let me tell you something so big, especially in our community, because we don't even play about our play cousins. You know what I mean? If that's your mama's best friend, then her kids are your cousins, and that's just the way it goes. So I love that was the entry point for Aunjanue and I's characters to connect in this film.
Yeah, I love that. And additionally, this origin explores in the grand scheme of themes that when people lose someone close to them, they'll never be the same. So, how do you hope a film like this will encourage people to use that disappearance of something in their lives, whether it be a person or another thing of significance, as like that catalyst for change?
You know, it's interesting because my family has had a lot of loss and dealt with a lot of grief. And I know, like, for me, my brother was murdered the day before my birthday. And what it made me say was that I wanted to completely celebrate life. Every year at my birthday, you know what I mean? I could be, somewhere balled up in the knot crying. And even if that's the case, it's also going to accompany a great celebration. You know what I mean? Because for me, it says how valuable life is, how precious it is, and how we are here for a good time, but not necessarily a long time. And we have to make the best out of it, you know?
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. And what are some of your favorite characteristics of Marianne, and what did you learn the most from her?
Oh man, I love that Marianne was a big support to Anjanue's character. I love that she was almost, to me, every man in the movie. Like, now, would you say it again? Now say it and make it plain. Now say it so people can understand it. Now go on over there and do your work. People need to hear about this. She was such an encourager. And I love that. And I'm like, yeah, let me call some people when I get home from set and encourage them. You know what I mean? To keep it going and to do the thing you're called to do.
Wow, I love that, Niecy. And like I said, the range is impeccable. So phenomenal job in Origin. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you.